Welcome back to Pocky Tech. Today we're going to talk about the Xbox 360. And I gotta say, this is a pretty easy one, I guess, since it's not really that retro, but it's retro enough where you feel like it's really old and it's been about like more than a decade. And yeah, the Xbox had its ups and downs like anything else, and it was definitely nowhere near the most perfect console, but it did the job. And like, you complain about the storage or the video display or just the GUI in general and how everything looks, but overall, like, we love that thing. And like, no matter how much complaining or how much technical errors we have, everyone, and I mean everyone, can probably think of at least 5 stories from the Xbox days of them just playing their game. And whoo, don't get me started on online culture, because
Yes! Oh my God! Where you at? Where you at? Oh!
Alright, let's take a look at this thing. The Xbox is about 10 by 10 inches, and I'm talking about the Xbox Slim, so this is pretty slim, and I can tell you what, like, those things were hefty boys. Like, I had to sit it up sideways, like a Neanderthal, instead of it having it sideways in like a cabinet. It had a 3.2 gigahertz PowerPC tri-core Xenon CPU with an ATI Xenos GPU. And a built-in 512 megabytes of RAM and a built-in 250 gigabyte hard drive, which I can tell you what, in those days that was pretty much enough. Unlike now, where I have to buy a micro SD. Now, like I said before, the 360 was a pretty impactful machine for a lot of reasons. For one, the multiplayer, like, I think that was Xbox's big push for multiplayer. It gave us like new avatars, achievements. It really let you connect with friends in a way that they didn't really have in the original Xbox, and something that, at least for me, I didn't really appreciate until then. Playing on the GameCube or the Game Boy or the PS2. It also added the Connect, which I guess allowed for better social interactions. Sure, I guess. And let's actually talk about multiplayer for a second, because I don't know about you, but that was like the golden age for me in terms of multiplayer. Like, there were no other better time for me to like meet a bunch of people online, play with a bunch of people online, than I did with the Xbox. Like, Left 4 Dead all night until 2 a.m. Black Ops, Halo, all the nights of Halo, just playing Reach in the Forge. Oh my god. The Xbox, just, that was the multiplayer machine. I give the Xbox 360 a 9 out of 10. And I gotta say, this console really hit the spot. I mean, it was definitely by no means, like I said before, a perfect console, but it's way too memorable, and it did too much good to be overlooked. As much as the PS3 did, and as much as the other Nintendo consoles did, this one really struck home, and really has a place in my heart that will probably never be filled with anything else, because this was the time. This was a console probably of my teenage years. I hope for the rest of you guys that you have a console like that, because wow, like, I'm almost getting sad just thinking about it.